I have a feeling Darius is going to come out with a chip on his shoulder tonight. I hope so. I mean, hey, don't let that game against Boston really distract you from how good he's been all year. He's off to an amazing start this year. What's up, Dan? Glad to see you here. Glad you're joining us, or joining me at least. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this game. Darius has been the clutch king. He's been shooting so good from every spot on the floor. That game against Boston was just a real outlier, and so I think we'll see him bounce back. And I like that he stayed aggressive against Boston. I've mentioned this a few times already on different live streams, but it's good to see him stay aggressive. I don't think he did that in the past. Yeah, welcome in everybody. It's always great to see you guys here. It's always great to watch these games with the chat. So I really appreciate you all being here. I don't believe did RJ Barrett play in the home opener against or not home opener, the season opener against the Cavs? I don't think he was out there, was he? Yeah, I didn't think so. So it'll be a little bit of a different look here. Yeah, right on cue. Evan Mobley versus Scotty Barnes. Oh man, Apollo is squeaking his toy now. He picked a good time to pick that up. Let me know if the squeaker gets annoying. I can work on keeping my mic muted if I'm not talking, or I'll try and get him out of the room. But oh no, I'm echoing. Okay, cool. Here, I'm gonna link that story real quick. Are we worried about Donovan possessions where he kind of dribbles the air out of the ball and settles for shots? I would say just a little bit worried, mainly because you want to try and cut those out as much as you can. But at the same time, Donovan is an incredible isolation scorer. Paul's going crazy on that toy right now. um, but he's a great isolation scorer. So you do have to a degree, you have to let him cook. But you definitely want to limit them in certain situations. But I tend to defer to Donovan Mitchell in situations like that. If he feels he's getting a good shot up, I'm not going to argue with him. It's mainly the Kenny Atkinson had a quote today that actually summarizes this perfectly. Is that they're looking to establish principles on offense. It's not necessarily design set plays, which they're doing that too, but it's mainly just certain principles that they want to play with. And I would definitely say Donovan dribbling the air out of the ball for a whole possession is not one of the principles that they're looking to have be a routine part of their offense. But right there's a great look. I mean, that's the benefit of having someone else handle the ball is that Donovan can get way easier opportunities. He doesn't have to create it all for himself anymore. Yeah, Dick has a strange shooting for him. Here comes Mobley bringing it up off the rebound. Looking to be aggressive against a smaller player here. Oh. All right, he loses it, but that's the reps we want to see from him. Even though it didn't necessarily work out, I like that he's continuing to show this aggression. Tough shot. Yeah, it would be nice to see Mobley repost some of those, be a little more patient. He still has moments where he's a little hectic. Yeah, I agree. Seeing Darius guard bigger guys and funnel them to the bigs is really nice. It doesn't seem like the Cavs. They've always been. Oh, I hope he's okay. Looks like he got hit. Maybe a cramp or like a Charlie horse. Tripped on someone. All right, well, we're gonna have to see what happened there with Darius. But I do like that the Cavs defense. They've been an elite defense for the last few years, but it seems like they trust their individual defenders a little more, and that's been extended even to someone like Darius, where uh, they're not overhelping. they're trusting him to hold his own and funnel his man to the teeth of the defense, which has worked out. It's something that I've enjoyed. Yeah, hopefully Darius is okay. That would suck. We're not even 4 full minutes into this. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled up this stat for Derpy. The Cavs, only twice so far this season have they failed to deliver free French fries to the fans. You got to hit 120 points in a home game to do it. Only twice this year have they fallen below that at home. It happened against Milwaukee on November 4th. They scored just 116. And then, oh, sorry, wait, it was three times. It was three times. They did it October 25th versus Detroit. They only scored 113. And then also against Brooklyn, they only had 105. So they did it three times. But other than that, they've been delivering free fries. That Brooklyn game was something. It took them a while to wake up. And it was Darius at the end. Darius and Mobley came alive in that fourth quarter to bring them back. Mobley was incredible defensively. All he did was trip over someone's ankle, bro. Yeah, I didn't even see what happened to him. So hopefully we'll get a replay here, or we'll get some gambling odds instead. That's cool. Yeah, hopefully he's okay. I don't know if he's returning to the floor or not. It looks like he's out there. Oh, you got it? Nice. Yeah, Twitter links work. So thank you for sharing that. He's still out on the floor, so that's good. Oh, yeah. I'm seeing the replay there. Nice. I'm still an Isaac Okoro believer. I still believe. I caught a clip of Allen on Young Man in the Three when he's talking about the lights were too bright meme. I've been meaning to watch the full thing. Nice pass, nice finish. Good start for Jared Allen tonight. The lights are not too bright anymore. Yeah, the clip I saw was great when he's talking about the meme. He was very happy that he got his meme. And also, I will stand by his quote. Yes, it's a little embarrassing to admit, but it was true. I mean, that's how they played. He wasn't just talking about himself. I think that's what gets misconstrued a lot is that the reporter asked him how the Cavs went from a 50-win team to out in 5 games in the playoffs, and he said the lights were brighter than expected for the whole team. And they mentioned it in the Young Man in the Three episode where it's like sometimes we don't want players to be honest because it sounds pathetic, but it's true. I mean, the Cavs looked completely razzled in that first series, and Allen was just being open about it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that full episode. He's really the unsung hero of the last few years for the Cavs. He's just always so reliable. Obviously, he wasn't super reliable against New York, but other than that, he's just been so good for them. Like there he is out on the 3-point line contesting a shot. Evan Mobley gets all the credit for his defensive versatility, but Allen is right up there. I like this possession from Mobley. Nice. I agree. A big part of that against New York was scheme too. It's part of the overhelping that we mentioned. They just didn't trust their individual defenders. So Allen and Mobley were overstepping, and Mitchell Robinson, credit to him, just did his job. It's like if Allen's going to step out and contest a mid-range floater, he's just going to steal all that space, and he's a big dude. Like Mitchell Robinson's huge. Yeah, he was behind every play and just cleaned up shop. Yeah, it was a combination of Mitchell Robinson being a monster, Jared Allen, having to overcommit and overhelp, because it was definitely scheme. I don't think it was just Allen going out on his own doing that. And it was also a little bit of they looked a little razzled. It was a combination of all three, I'd say. All right, Cavs got an early 8-point lead. Thoughts on our City Edition Jersey Court intro video? I think it's awesome. I love that the last 3 years they've been incorporating the city into them. I know it's the City Edition, but the way that they've partnered with the Metro Parks the first year, the Playhouse Square ones, I think, are maybe my favorite still. The red, like velvet gold, just looked so awesome. The court was incredible, but I'm also a sucker for that blue color that they're running this year. I think it's great. The court looks incredible. That's legitimately one of my favorite courts they've ever had. Um, and yeah, I like that they're bringing the blue back. The blue is really nice. The Metro Parks one were great. I bought a t-shirt of that one. Uh, yeah, I think they've done a really good job tying into some of the iconic parts of Cleveland. And yeah, I'm a big fan of it. I don't like the NBA Cup stuff that much. The court, it's a little too bright, too colorful, but the City Edition stuff, I'm a fan. I love that the Cavs crashed that wedding photo. That was very funny. Yeah, there we go. The Cavs top 5 defense to start the year. Last 10 games they've fallen down to 19th. You're gonna want to pick that up. You're gonna have stretches throughout the year where your defense, fluctuates, but they can definitely play better than that. Here we have Point Aquaro bringing the ball up the floor. Ty Jerome has been absolutely balling. Attacking a closeout. Coro 3-pointer. Let's go. His growth as a 3-point shooter is legit. Teams still don't really defend him like he's a great 3-point shooter or anything, but he just keeps getting better. And I think sometimes he's a legit good shooter now. And I think we take that for granted sometimes when you think of the players who Okoro had been compared to at times, like the Matisse Thybulle, Josh Jackson, like those 3 and D wings who never became 3-point shooters. They never made a leap like Okoro has. He's continued to get better each year. He's shooting 44% from deep to start this year. Very small sample size, but if you just look at his career, 29% as a rookie, 35% in his sophomore season. That alone is a big jump going from under 30% to 35%, basically, almost league average. The next year, 36%. Last season, 39%. And then this year, he's at 44%. He's basically improved to being a 40% 3-point shooter. The volume needs to improve for sure. He's attempting 2.5 per game, which is less than last year, but let me check per 36 because he's playing fewer minutes. Per 36, he's averaging a career high 4.3 attempts. Uh, and so you'd still like to see it get, I would like it to get to, 5 per 36. He's got to let some fly. And if he can do that and maintain anywhere from like 38 to 40%, then he's just a legit good shooter. And teams are going to have to start guarding him. And they already do guard him more than they did in his rookie, sophomore season, even his third season. He's continued to improve and he's built a little bit more of a reputation for himself. He's not completely ignored in the corner. And he can bully little guys. I love the once a month when they put a really tiny guy on him and they just start posting him up. That's always fun because he's great at finishing at the rim. He's a great athlete. We all know he's a good defender. I'm still on a Coral Island and I'm not getting off. Great cutter, yep. And I think it's going to be even more noticeable as this year goes on with the Cavs offense in general being more dynamic and there's more movement all around. I think he'll get even more opportunities. I think we'll see his playmaking pop a little more. I've always thought he had a good feel as a playmaker, good court vision, and he's only 23. It's crazy to think how young he still is. I don't think he's ever gonna make a huge leap and be an all-star or anything, but he's a very valuable role player. Ty Jerome, step back from the corner. That was awesome. Do you guys think Ty Jerome should be in conversations for most improved player of the year? Because the thing is, he was basically a fringe NBA player for most of his career. Comes to Cleveland. Look at this. Oh, almost got a steal right there. One of his staples. But I mean, this is a guy who's basically on the fringe of being a legit NBA player. Couldn't really crack a rotation. He got some minutes with improved from what? He played some minutes for Golden State. He played a little for OKC, and he wasn't really a big impact player. And then he comes here, and now he's. I originally thought six man of the year, which I don't think he would win, but he's definitely in the early race, the very very early race. But I mean, hey, most improved would make sense if we're talking the truest sense of the word. But most improved almost always goes to just like someone who was already really good and then they make the leap to all-star. It's not usually like someone who was maybe not really an NBA player to all right, they're a legit rotational piece. Um, but I mean Ty Jerome is how old is he? Let me look this up. He's 27 years old. So I feel like that's more in the spirit of the award, like a older player who just makes a big improvement rather than a guy who like didn't John Morant win it one year or he was a finalist? I think he maybe even won it from his like sophomore year to third year. I don't know. Sometimes the most improved player award is a little goofy. Yeah, over DG. So I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there because I did a podcast with Ben Pfeiffer and he mentioned most improved. I had only really considered six man of the year, but he mentioned most improved for Ty Jerome, and I thought it was interesting. So I wanted to hear what you guys were thinking. He was a third string point guard for most of his career, and now he's a sixth starter. Yeah, I mean, it's a very noticeable jump. Yeah, he's been cooking every game. Ben's YouTube channel is good. He does great work. Great, like quick hitting film breakdowns. And he does a good job of covering like every NBA team. I don't know how some people do it. I feel like I spend so much time covering the Cavs that I pay attention to the other NBA teams, but it's just tough. It's tough to be able to go that in depth on every team. So definitely check out his stuff and check out that podcast we did because it was a really good 40-minute conversation recapping that Cavs 15-0 start to the year. Talked a lot about Darius Garland and Evan Mobley. All right, Cavs firmly in the driver's seat to start this game. They're holding Toronto to 13 points so far. It's pretty good. Niang attacking off the dribble. Allen cleaning it up. Oh, we just got an iconic Niang fall. That's his staple. That's his signature move. Oh, here we go. Oh, they forgot about him. Ty Jerome, he just makes things happen. He's so good, they don't even remember to defend him. Yeah, George Niang, man. Those falls are too funny. There's no one like him in the NBA. I gotta tweet that out. I gotta tweet out this picture. I'll share it with you guys as well so everyone can witness this. George is playing good though. I gotta always say that. All right. That's a little bit of an ugly drive, but he's playing good this year. Perfect team to improve your opponent 3-point numbers on. I was thinking the same thing when we were talking about that at the start of the game, but I was afraid of jinxing it. I'm feeling a little more confident in it now, but we'll have to see. Yeah, Jared's been a monster to start this game. That's one of the main benefits of having a core four. For as much as people gripe about the fit, you just win so many games because one night Jared Allen's killing teams, another night is Donovan, then it's Darius, then it's Evan. It's just you get through so many wins in the regular season, just from having these guys constantly giving you big games. Strus is going to feast. Oh man, I cannot wait to see Max Strus in this offense. This starting lineup has been really good. You put Max Strus in there, I think we're going to see the leap that we expected last season, where you just get a movement shooter, a guy who was a fantastic playmaker last year, great cutter, great off-ball player in general, good screener too. I mean, he's just going to be perfect in this offense. Yeah, I was shocked Ty Jerome missed that. You don't see that very often out of him. Ooh, he should have shot it. That's the good thing about Ty, though, is that he's still a very good decision maker. I made this point on the pod too, I think, where knocks it down. See, he passes up a pretty difficult shot, gets the ball back, and then he gets a cleaner look and knocks it down. He's not like a loose cannon. I don't mean this as disrespect, but he's not a Jordan Clarkson type who just he's a volume scorer, volume shooter. He's just every game getting shots up. Ty Jerome's a very smart player. He picks and chooses his spots so well. When he doesn't have it going, he's not forcing it. But when he does have it going, man, does he just start lighting teams up. Really good playmaker. Jordan Clarkson. The Jordan Clarkson experience is something else. He's either very frustrating to watch or incredible to watch. He already hit his over for points. Yeah, man. Vegas hasn't caught up to the typhoon yet. Whoa. Oh, the shot clock was running down. Okay. I didn't catch that for some reason. I was about to say, I just said he wasn't a loose cannon. What's going on? Yep. Mobley is not a mismatch. Oh, great defense for 18 seconds there. That foul was a little unfortunate. Point Mobley. Inverted pick and roll with Mitchell. Left it short. That was nice though. Davion Mitchell on Toronto stunted and kind of slowed him down, and I thought maybe Mobley would pick up his dribble, but he went right back at him, got all the way to the rim, just about all the way to the rim, and then left it short. Ooh, hit him. Nice pass, Sam. Great finish. You're a sick guy. Hey man, someone's got to do it. Have we gotten has Art But Sports given us a Niang painting yet? Because there's like 18 photos of Niang in that position on the internet. I don't think Art But Sports has gotten to it yet. Sam is a very good like extra pass guy. He always makes the extra pass very quickly. That touch pass definitely maps the court very well. Here comes Mobley. Nice steal. Returning the favor to Sam for three. Hell yeah. That was great. The two-man game of Sam and Mobley. That's another thing that I'm really excited about with Strus coming back is that him and Mobley had so much chemistry last year. Max really had chemistry with both bigs. Another steal here. Oh, I don't think he got it off anyway. Great end to the quarter. 38 points in the opening quarter again. I mean, it's getting old at this point. Last year, I felt like they didn't have many quarters where they scored 38, let alone starting the game with 38 points. It felt like so many times last year they would start in a hole and they'd have to climb back out of it, or they'd look. Yes, it's actually not getting old. Just to be clear, I was just kidding. I'll take this every single game. Especially again, the last few years, it just felt like so many times they would start off slow. Uh, Even against lesser opponents, sometimes they would play down to their opponents and were sweating a game against Detroit, or it was against Portland last year in November, I think, where we're sweating at the end. It's like, man, yeah, the other team goes up by double digits, and granted, they could fight back, and they won a bunch of games, but so many times the process didn't feel great. One of the most reassuring things about this opening stretch, they're 16-1, but let's say they were, they had lost a couple more games. They had 5 or 6 losses even. The process has been so good in each one of these games. They've played some close games. They've executed perfectly to have this 16-1 record. But even if a few things hadn't gone their way, like let's say Damian Lillard hits the game winner in Milwaukee or such and such, like their process has been so good that I would be feeling really encouraged about this team, even if they weren't 16-1. But the fact that they are just makes it even better. This is just clearly a brand new team. Offensively, at least. Defensively, they've changed some things too. They've improved. We mentioned a couple of it. They're also more likely to switch this year, which has been really great to see. And offensively, they figured it out. The offense looked so basic compared to what we do now. Exactly. I mean, there were times I'll give JB some credit. I think if you look at his offense from 2022 up until like last year, it improved. There were more layered actions. There was more stuff there, but he wasn't cooking with what Kenny Atkinson is cooking with. One stat that I brought up on our pod is that, let me pull up the specific numbers here, but I know that the Cavs, because when I was thinking about the offense compared to last year, I went into this assuming that they were running less pick and rolls because last year they ran a whole bunch of pick and roll and they weren't really good at it. Surprisingly, you would think with Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, that you'd be one of the better pick and roll teams, but they weren't. So last season, they were 10th in pick and roll frequency, but they were the 11th worst team in points per possession in pick and roll. So they ran a bunch of it, and they really weren't that efficient with it. This year, they've jumped all the way to second in frequency, so they're running pick and rolls way more than last year even, but they're scoring the third most points per possession on pick and roll. So Kenny has really unlocked what should be the bread and butter for this team when you have Mobley, Allen, Donovan, and Darius. He's unlocked that to where they're one of the best pick and roll teams in the NBA. And a big reason for that is because they do set screens with guys other than Mobley and Allen. Again, just talking about the offense being less basic and a little more advanced. You have Okoro screening, Ty Jerome screening, Craig Porter, even when he's out there. There's way more going on, and it's not dribble the ball up the floor, wait 15 seconds, and then set a high screen with Allen or Mobley. Now they're getting into offense quick. They're running through multiple actions, and the pick and roll. It's going to be a staple of any offense. It's the NBA. It's the modern NBA. You're going to see pick and roll for every team, but the Cavs have figured out how to do it with a purpose. And I would say that stat right there is like maybe the single most important thing that Kenny has done so far this year for the offense is just figure out how to maximize what should be their best go-to action. Yeah, the pace too. They are. I don't know what they're where they rank now. When I recorded the pod 2 days ago, they were 12th, so it's possible that that changed a little bit. But they were 12th in pace. Last year they were 24th. The year before that they were dead last. So it's a big increase, and it just makes it easier. We've talked about this plenty, but when you get into your action with 18, 17 seconds on the clock, you have room for if the first action doesn't work, you can flow into a second action, maybe even a third action. And it increases your margin for error. A lot of times last year, they wouldn't even be getting a shot up till the clock was already a factor. And that just makes things more difficult. Good look. That was a great look ahead pass from Ty Jerome all the way to the corner. We will live with Scotty Barnes pulling from that deep. Yeah, see, Ty Jerome just set a screen for Mitchell. And the reason you do that is because it's really hard to guard the guard screen. Donovan Mitchell can obviously pick on a slower big man, but they have some guards out there that you don't want to have switched onto Donovan Mitchell either. Ooh, good shot. Craig Porter's in and Jalen Tyson. Let's go. Excited to see what he looks like against some legit NBA players. Right away, almost gets a rebound right there. But you see the nose for the ball, cutting out of the corner to the other side of the basket to get a hand on that. Jalen Tyson during media day compared himself to Josh Hart and Caleb Martin, where he said those are two guys he wants to model his game after. And I think that's a perfect blueprint for him to follow. It also signals that he understands what his role is going to be. He didn't walk out there saying he's going to be a rookie of the year contender. I think he did say he was one of the best rookies in his class, which is fine. You want him to be confident, but he didn't say he's going to average 20 or be an all rookie or anything like that. He just wants to play his role and help this team win. And I think that's going to bode well for him. Oh, he missed that one too. But that's just the size of the Cavaliers. It's like you just went through a whole stretch of Jared Allen tearing you up, and now here comes Evan Mobley getting an offensive rebound. 2 or 3 attempts there at the rim. It's just tough to handle. Damari Carroll is winning the hair game. I agree. Yeah, Tyson started that last game and he almost had a triple double. So it was a very, very good debut for him. Unofficial debut because he had played in garbage time a few times, but that was his first meaningful minutes, and he looked good. I've been I've been studying a certain Chicago Sky players tape. Yeah, hey, you got to get those rebounds. Yeah, Mobley's gotten player all sorts of player comps from Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett to I remember some people called him Kevin Durant entering like that was always insane to be fair. Like I mean Kevin Durant was a bucket from the moment he stepped on an NBA court, he could score at all three levels. Evan Mobley was never close to being that. Uh, but even like I've compared him, or at least said that I want Mobley to model some of his game after Domantas Sabonis, for example, just the physicality, improving as a screener, being more physical, the playmaking hub, Bam Adebayo. We've seen this season. I don't know if it was Kenny specifically that said, but I know that they've talked about using him like Draymond Green. I think Kenny might have said that again as a playmaking hub. There's just so many different paths for him. Oh, yeah, don't want to do that, Donovan. Never want to save the ball towards your own basket. Oh, that was an awkward play. Let's see if Mobley can get a chase down. Ah, crazy that he managed to get all the way back in front of him, though. Speed on display right there. The Cavs right now are shooting 7 of 13 from deep. That's 53%. The Raptors are shooting just 3 of 16, 18%. So we talked about defending the 3-point line entering this game. So far, they're doing a good job. To be fair, Toronto's not exactly loaded with 3-point shooters. Scotty Barnes is 0 for 3. RJ Barrett's 1 for 4. Grady Dick is 1 for 4. He's a good 3-point shooter, but Chris Boucher's 0 for 3. So they're managing to funnel the ball towards their non-shooters. And that's paying off. Ooh, that was an acrobatic attempt, but Evan Mobley, so good at defending the rim without fouling. That was one of the main reasons why I was really pushing for him as Defensive Player of the Year his sophomore season is because Jaren Jackson Jr., no, all credit to him. The dude just fouls like crazy, and part of playing good defense is managing to be out on the floor. Uh, and Mobley so good at contesting everything at the rim with hardly ever fouling. And I think that matters, but clearly the voters disagreed that year. Yeah, 5-second violation. It's always rough to see. Ooh, not a great stretch here for the Cavs. I do like, yeah, Craig not being pulled from the game after multiple mistakes. That stuff matters. JB's rotations, he felt very stubborn with them. Whenever he would stray from the norm and give Sam Merrill or Craig or anyone a chance, it felt like they really were on a tight leash. And if they messed up, they were going to be back on the bench for a week. And, that's not, JB's not the only coach to have that philosophy. Plenty of coaches do. And a lot of times for good reason. But it definitely does mess with someone's mentality when you're looking over at the scorer's table after every play, unsure of yourself and if you're going to be out there or not. Uh, like Sam Merrill, pretty consistently has been the first, if not the second person off the bench for most of the year when he's healthy. And that matters. Just knowing every night that you're going to have an opportunity. And of course, at a certain point, if guys are struggling, you're going to get pulled. But keeping a consistent rotation and making sure that everyone understands their role what part of the game you're going to be on the floor and where your chances are going to come, where your opportunities are going to come from. It matters. Jalen Tyson, corner three, air ball. Not great, not great. It's good defense right there. You got a Okoro harassing you, and then you try and dump it off, and it's Evan Mobley fronting the post. Great defense right there. So right now the Cavs, they got 12 points from Jared Allen. He's a perfect 5 of 5. He did miss a free throw. I don't think Garland has come back since he twisted his ankle, stayed out there, and I don't think he's been back on the floor. Ankle injuries are always interesting for that reason because sometimes you can, tighten your shoelace and stay out there, but then after a little while, that swelling starts to kick in. So hopefully he comes back. I haven't heard them say anything on the broadcast that he's not going to be back, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Still 6 minutes in the second, so it's not unusual for him not to be out there, but we'll see. Keep an eye on it. Craig and Tyson out there isn't the best lineup. Yeah, they're relying a little bit on the undrafted sophomore player and the rookie, but it's okay. Reps like this are valuable. They definitely were losing those minutes, though. But yeah, Jared Allen, he's got 12 points, 3 rebounds, 5 of 5 from the floor. Ty Jerome is the only other Cavalier in double digits. He has 10 off the bench, 4 of 6 shooting, 2 steals, 1 block. Dude is just on a heater to start this year. It's really not much else to say about it. He's just been balling. Evan Mobley's got 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, doing a little bit of everything to start. Garland had 3 points, 1 for 1 shooting in his few minutes out there. As for Toronto, they're being led by Chris Boucher with 10 points. Barrett and Dick have 7. Jonathan Mogbo has 7 off the bench too. Yeah, Cavs are losing this quarter 16-7 or 15-7, sorry. But all in all, I'm still feeling pretty good about how the game started. It's all been downhill since they took Jerome out. The thing is, there's nowhere to go after Jerome comes out because you can't go any higher. He's already taken you as high as you can go. So you only hope that you can stay neutral when he's not out there. Yeah, you just need to weather the storm when Jerome's on the bench. Just survive the non-Jerome minutes and you win the game. Not very assertive on offense so far. No, I think they've turned the ball over at half court a couple of times. So not even getting shots up for many of those possessions. Yeah, Jared Allen's great, man. That's such an awesome little segment right there. I hope this guy stays in Cleveland for his whole career. Make him a lifer. I still believe in CPJ too. Let's see if he can prove us right here. Nice. Right on cue. The end one finish. And yeah, look, I mean, Porter and Tyson are still out there. So that goes a long way. Not just for this game, but long term for their confidence to have a bad stint and still come back out after the timeout. And it pays off right away. Nice finish. Right on cue. He's so athletic. Like that really surprised me all the way back in his first summer league games. So athletic. Good defense here. Garland denying that cut. I mean, hey, solid defense right there. You got a hand up. Converted a tough floater. Okoro, here he goes, posting up. All right. Tyson pushed him. Yeah. Late whistle, so I thought maybe he got away with it. But I'm not mad at it. I like him being aggressive. Clearly pushed him right there, but I like being aggressive. I like being physical, pushing guys around. Even if you got called for it right there, You keep attacking the basket like that for rebounds, you're going to be in the NBA for a long time. CPJ is an elite secondary creator. He's so good at when he has an advantage, he's so good. Still. Like that's the one thing that's remained consistent is that when he gets the ball with an advantage, he makes really good reads. He's a good interior scorer. He's a really good playmaker. The problem is again, like secondary creator, really good. It's tough when he's on ball as the primary creator and teams are dropping off of him. That's been the adjustment that defense has made about halfway through his rookie year. He's had a hard time finding alternative solutions there. But yeah, when he's on a swing, he's so good. We saw against Boston when he does have the jumper falling. I mean, it just solves everything for him. So I'm excited for CBJ. I know it might be easy to feel a little disappointed because he started off his rookie year so hot and then cooled down quite a bit. But you got to keep in mind, this is an undrafted guy coming out, earning a standard contract before the All Star break last year. He's still in the rotation on a team that's 16-1. Like, this is a really, really good outcome for a guy who went undrafted. You put him on Phoenix. Hey, I have said as much as I love CPJ, I kind of think that a change of scenery would be better for him. Like a place where he's not as buried in the rotation. San Antonio would maybe even be better just because there's less expectations over there right now. But Cleveland is a tough spot. New Orleans is another good option. Cleveland is a tough spot for him because he has Garland and Mitchell ahead of him. You got Struess who can play backup guard minutes. You got Levert. You got Ty Jerome now. You got Okoro who plays the guard. Like there's so many guys ahead of him. Sam Merrill, Utah. Yeah. I don't know if Utah would actually benefit him. He'd be watching Colin Sexton and Jordan Clarkson time. No disrespect to either one of those guys. And Colin Sexton has grown as a playmaker, so really don't want to disrespect him. But yeah, I think he'd be better off in Cleveland at that point. All right, nice play out of Tyson. Patient. Whoa, good patience all around. Tyson didn't have an advantage, pulls it back out. Ty Jerome makes a nice one-handed live action pass, and Allen really good down there. Takes his time, waits for an opening. Toronto comes back with a three. It's a 5-point game now. Ooh, that was wild. Garland just exploded out of that corner. And then I don't know how he managed to slither through all those Toronto defenders and get this ball to Allen. I think he traveled, honestly. I think he landed before he got rid of that. Hard to tell from that angle, but that was still incredible. To a much lesser degree, Garland has a lot of the limitations that Porter has, just in terms of if this dude has even a half step advantage, he is frying you. But when teams like Boston play that heavy drop on him and force him to just straight up get a bucket against the drop, Garland way better than Craig Porter in those situations. Like Garland can just eviscerate the drop. We've seen it throughout this season. We've seen it throughout his career, but getting him an advantage is so key because he does at times struggle to be the on ball against a half court set defense. He does sometimes struggle when teams are going to drop on him. Yeah. I mean, we've had so many great ball handlers in Cleveland these last few years, from Donovan, Darius. Karis LeVert, even though he's a little wonky at times, he's a very good ball handler. Craig Porter takes good care of the ball. Ty Jerome takes fantastic care of the ball. Yeah, Utah it is a genuine good fit for him. Because they need a player like Craig Porter. I just don't know how. To be fair, I haven't watched them much, so I don't know if they're that dysfunctional. I just know they're losing a lot of games. And sometimes it is better to be on a good team where you're maybe a little buried if you're in a really good developmental situation. But yeah, I mean, as far as just getting reps for Craig Porter, it would definitely benefit him to be on a different team that has a little bit of spacing around him where he can be on the floor. And like San Antonio is a decent example of this, where Wemby, because he's a floor spacing big, like running a pick and roll with Wemby, it's easy for a lot of guys, but it would be easier for Craig Porter because then he has Wemby popping and it changes the way the defense is going to guard you. Um, but yeah, I'm cool with Craig Porter being here. I'm not trying to push him out, but I do think maybe long term, better fit for him would be somewhere else. It's how I felt about Sharif Cooper too. He spent a long time with our G League team, and I just felt bad because he's balling in the G League, and he's much shorter, and he has even more limitations than Craig Porter. But I just thought to myself, if this guy was playing if he was with a different franchise that needed a point guard, he would have gotten plenty of opportunities. But in Cleveland, it was like things would have to be really dire to be calling up Sharif Cooper, and that's not a knock on him. But there's just so many guys who they will turn to play point guard and handle some of that. Yeah, I was. There's a reason Sharif Cooper's overseas now. He had many limitations, but I did just feel bad for him when he was balling in the G League because he probably, during those streaks, he probably would have gotten called up for other teams, but the Cavs just had no use for him. And again, he's much shorter than Craig Porter, Craig Porter's already undersized. I think Sharif Cooper's like 5'10". And am I over exaggerating? Let me look that up real quick. He's short. Okay, Google's listing him at 6'1". I've seen him in person. I don't know if he's 6'1". Jackson might be able to answer that better. But anyways, let's focus on this game. I don't know why I'm doing a retrospective on Sharif Cooper. Nice. DG knocking down a catch and shoot three. Cavs still shooting the ball well. This quarter, they've had a hard time getting shots up, it feels like. They're getting outscored 27-16 in the second. Speaking of the Charge lost tonight. JT Thor is with the Charge tonight, I believe, but Luke Travers is in Cleveland. Should they end up giving him a run? Travers is enticing. I can fully understand why you would buy into him. I would not be mad at all for many reasons if the Cavs just blew out Toronto and managed to give Travers some run here. I'd be happy to pick up another win, and I'd be glad to see Travers play again. Great court awareness, and he does have size. I've been just surprised by it every time I watch him, how big he looks out there. Shooting still has to improve for sure. That's going to be an X factor. Scotty Barnes, that was a really loud brick. Oh. All right, Toronto's fighting. They're staying within range. Let's see if they can close these last 2 minutes strong. See if the Cavs can close the 2 minutes strong. Nice drive. Whoa. Yeah, just awkward gather there. Oh, I think I'm okay with that being a no call. Yeah, Grady's just a natural 3 level scorer, pretty decent size. I'd assume he has a plus wingspan. So he's an easy player to build around. He's not like your franchise cornerstone, I don't think, but he's an easy guy to slot in anywhere. Nice. They've generated a couple clean looks for Donovan and Darius on drive and kicks. Just catch and shoot 3 pointers off of that. That's a dream for this Cavs team. Nice job by Darius staying active in the passing lane. He's always been good at that. For any limitations he has on defense, ooh, that was dirty. Nice. The double behind the backs are always gonna get me to raise my eyebrows. Those are always so cool. Good quick attack from Toronto there. Whoa, Ty. That was wild. I mean, when you have a backup point guard who can come in and just pull from 30 feet so effortlessly and consistently, yeah, I mean, that's a luxury. That's a luxury, and you could even argue when Karis LeVert is here that Ty Jerome isn't even their best player off the bench, and he's still capable of doing stuff like that. It's just crazy. Here goes again. Oh, that was halfway in. I mean, yeah, I just watched that replay on that last Ty Jerome three. That's from the hash mark. Pull up against the drop. Not even a drop. I mean, the defense is there. Unlimited range is the best way to describe it. All right, they managed to extend the lead to 10 right there. I'm feeling pretty solid. Yeah, double digit lead after a not good quarter is good. Don't get me wrong, I'd like them to play better than that in the next 2 quarters, but this team, man, this team just keeps on playing good. Yeah, they did lighten up a little bit, as Jared just said. Don't want to take your foot off the gas. Ty Jerome can do anything. It's true. Allen got a haircut. I noticed that the fro is looking a little shorter, but it hasn't stopped him. He's playing pretty good. He's got 15 points. Ty Jerome has 17 points in the first half. His previous career high for an entire game was 24. He broke that in the first half against New Orleans, and he has 17 in the first half here already tonight to go with 4 assists. Just on fire. Absolutely on fire. You know, I've always been Relatively low on Amani Bates, just compared to some of the people who thought that he would be starting like right away. I was never that high on him, I guess. But he's got so much raw potential as a 3-point shooter. He's like 6'9". He's very skinny, so that some of the size doesn't really benefit him as much as you would hope. But he's put on some muscle. The 3-point shot's legit. He's got some, yeah, he's not great on defense. He's got some limitations as a ball handler, but he can knock down shots like anybody else. I mean, he legitimately one of the best 3-point shooters on the planet. I was at his career high game with the Charge where he had 37 points, and when he gets into a flow, man, there's no shot that he can't take. He's pulling up, drifting off the dribble from 10 feet behind the line. It's just ridiculous. So I would be really interested to see what he looks like with this version of the Cavs, because last year's version wasn't able to get enough out of him. Some of that's his own developmental limitations. Some of that was the coaching. Yeah, he does nothing outside of shooting three, so it would be a weird fit. That would be the question. That's the question with Amani's development that I find interesting is how do you blend getting the most out of the fact that he's just a knockdown 3-point shooter? Like, how do you maximize that while also figuring out how much more can you put on his plate? Like, do you try and give him more on-ball reps in the G League and see if there's any playmaking or on-ball creation that you can get out of him? Or do you focus completely on let's try and be a good defender. Let's try and develop that. Let's try and develop off-ball movement. I know you're trying to do all of it, ideally, but I guess the question that I'm asking is which path is the most realistic for him? Is he going to be a connector piece? Can he develop into that? Because the truth is, the 3-point shot, that's the reason why people are so high on him. But you got to have more than that in today's NBA. You need to, exactly as Demo just said, you need to be able to at least set a screen, rebound, be a team defender. You got to at least do a couple other things. There was a time in the NBA, I would say like maybe 10 years ago. I'm thinking of guys like Joe Harris as an example, where because 3-point shooting had become such a premium, it seemed like maybe you could just take a guy, draft a guy, or sign someone who was strictly a 3-point shooter. Doug McDermott's another example, just guys who can straight shoot the lights out. And what we kind of realized pretty quickly is, yes, 3-point shooting is very valuable, but versatility is also very valuable. And that is kind of the make or break factor when it comes to legitimate, serious basketball games, playoff games. You need guys who you can't have guys out there who are just 3-point shooters. You have to be able to do some of the other fundamentals. And so that's the challenge for Amani. He's got a lot of developing to do. I always will complain and just maybe not complain, but just wish that his developmental path up to this point had done him more justice. I feel like Eastern Michigan really did not get that was just a failure all around. They did not develop him the way that he should have been. Yeah, Dan, you just nailed it. The people who told him to be a one and done player, that he was really let down in his youth, I think, by his coaching, by some of his personal decisions as well. But just I really think another year in college, probably a program that's getting the most out of him, developing those fundamentals. Because what happened, and this really is out of his control, but he's so gifted as a 3-point shooter, and he was pretty tall in high school, taller than everyone else out there. And immediately everyone was just next Kevin Durant. He's the chosen one. Look at this guy. He's 6'7". He can shoot off the dribble from anywhere. Like, the hype got so out of control that now this is from an outside perspective. I don't know what I'm about to say for sure, but it seems like they just neglected all the fundamentals that he should have been learning and just went this hoop mixtape route of just get your points, go out there, shoot 20 shots a game, especially at Eastern Michigan. And it was unfortunate, but I will say when you listen to him talk in any interviews, media day, anything like that, I do think he has a good sense of where he needs to develop now. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. I think he knows what needs to be done. It's just putting in the work. putting in the work, staying committed to it, staying focused. He's still very young. Let me look up his age real quick. He's 20 years old, turns 21 in January. This could be, I would preach patience because this stuff isn't going to happen overnight. I still don't think his footwork is all that great. That's one of the big things that always stands out to me is that his footwork is just a little awkward. It looks passable in the G League, but I think we take for granted how incredibly talented NBA players are, all the way down to the technical levels of just footwork. And Amani still looks like a baby deer out there at times. So that stuff could take a long time to develop, but he's only 20 years old. I definitely understand why anybody would be bought into him because that 3-point shooting. Yeah, a guy like Al Horford, just fundamentally sound. That's the goal for Amani. He could be a player. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a player who at 25 or 26, all of a sudden it's just, oh wow, Amani Bates actually like a pretty helpful NBA player. He's actually out there playing quality minutes for someone. But it might take time. Again, he's only 20. He's got an uphill battle, but again, when you listen to him talk, it seems like he knows where he needs to improve. It's all a matter of just getting it done. I hope he gets a speedy recovery here with the knee injury. Get him back on the court as soon as possible. And it's true, the Cavs developmental staff has a pretty good track record up to this point, I'd say. So he's in a good environment. If you put Amani Bates and Luke Travers into a machine and combine them, you'd have an all NBA player. You would have a fantastic NBA player. I mean, it really is something. When Amani's in a rhythm offensively, dude, he is such a good shooter. I keep repeating myself, but it's just so effortless. Like the jump shot is so fluid. It's such a quick release. He'll straight up shoot it from the hip. I can't think of many players like LaMelo Ball, maybe is another example. Just shooting it from the hip, getting the release off so quickly. Doesn't even matter if he's on balance. Like, I know we're talking about he needs to improve his fundamentals, but when he's in a rhythm shooting the ball, part of the reason why they neglected his fundamentals is because you could just throw them out the window when he's on a heater like that because he doesn't need to be square to the basket. He doesn't need to do beef, balance elbows, eyes, follow through. He can just throw it from the hip from anywhere and it's money. So, to a degree, I understand. Uh, but yeah, and he's so tall. Even if he didn't have a release that was that quick that he could get off from anywhere, he's so tall he could shoot over the top of people anyway. So you combine that, and it's just he really is a gifted player. So I'm wishing him the best. I hope that he manages to put some of this together, whether it's in Cleveland or somewhere else. Like I'm not even just saying that as a Cavs fan, wanting to see a good player play for my team. I just hope the kid develops because he clearly has a talent. Do you think we can rebrand the blog to Fear the Ty Jerome? Maybe. We'll have to work on that one. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break and grab another water. I'll be right back. Halftime probably wrapping up soon. I feel like I've been yapping for a while about Amani Bates. So hopefully when I'm back, we'll have some Cavs basketball to talk about. Man, the Clippers really got rid of Paul George and got so much better. Whew. I mean, they just blew the brakes off of Philly. Philadelphia falls to 3-13. Yikes. That is I can't you know what? Actually, I don't feel bad. I'm praying on Philly's downfall. 76ers fans, I'm sure there's plenty of great ones. They're the most toxic fans that I've interacted with. As a Cavs fan, you say anything about Joel Embiid. I remember I posted a video of Joel Embiid when he flopped on Mobley, and then they overturned the call. If everyone remembers that game, the amount I got swarmed by just the most toxic fans ever. So yeah, I'm reveling in this. I'm sure there's plenty of great Sixers fans, but nightmare start to the year. Absolute nightmare. They're 3-13. Things haven't been good. I mean, everyone's sucking. Joel Embiid, even before the year started, is like, I'm not playing back to backs. I don't really care about the regular season. The difference is, like LeBron has said stuff. I don't know if he's ever directly said stuff like that, but LeBron has coasted during the regular season, but it'll still get you to a pretty solid seed. Joel Embiid, man, if you're going to coast during the regular season, you got to at least make sure you're not 10 games under 500. You got to be available. So, yeah, it's really rough. But back to what Dan said as the Cavs, this half starts, the Clippers, shout out to them. I really did not expect this. They're playing really good ball. They're playing great defense. I, that's the crazy part, too. They drafted McCain, and he's playing amazing. And they're still this far underwater. It's unbelievable. I do think, because there's so much talent on that roster, I do think they could turn it around and end up making the playoffs and giving someone a run for their money in the first round. But the expectations, it was championship entering this season. And right now you're praying that they can even hold on and make the playoffs. Things just look real bad for them. But I'm a Cavs fan, so I don't know what that feels like. My team, 16-1. We got Evan Mobley out here. Scotty Barnes shooting 1 of 8. So, I'm doing real good as a Cavs fan. Oh, wow. The ESPN box score is way ahead of the stream. I got a couple things spoiled for me. All I'll say is go Cavs. Oh, here's Scotty Barnes 1 of 8. That was the eighth shot there. All right, let's see how this goes down. I know the result. I just don't know how it happens. Oh, it's an Okoro 3. Let's go. I didn't know who hit the 3. I just saw the score was 73-57. Couldn't be happier that it was an Okoro 3. For a second, I thought Mobley was going to step back, but then he threw it to Garland. Evan has Scotty and Hell again. Dude, that opening game of the year when he just clamped him up on like 5 possessions, and here he is doing it again. Listen, I don't even have any genuine personal beef against Scotty Barnes. I'm wishing him the best as long as he's not playing the Cavs. As long as he's not playing against the Cavs, he can do as good as he wants. But when he plays against the Cavs, I like the 1 of 8 shooting, 0 of 5 from deep. Evan Mobley's busting his ass. It's great. Evan Mobley, maybe triple double watch, maybe 8 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Keep an eye on it. Yeah, Scotty Barnes is good. I like Scotty Barnes. He's not Mobley. Iguodala, that's not a bad comp actually. Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't the number one option right now, his stats wouldn't be as good. But he's a good player. If you had other guys around him, he would fit in really nicely. So that's a good comp. And he's having a bad game tonight. He's a better player than what we're seeing tonight. But that's what happens when you go against Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. They've completely shut off the paint. Yeah, the Toronto roster is really weird. They've got some good guys here, but they got a long way to go towards figuring out how it all fits. 8-0 run. They should trade Pirtle. Yeah, I mean he's their guy who has a ton of trade value who they really don't need. Like he's probably not in your long-term blueprint for this team. Yeah, like if you're gonna rebuild, go for it, right? Like why delay the inevitable? And Pirtle has pretty solid trade value. I think there's a lot of teams that would be happy to get him. Uh, New Orleans probably even could be looking for a center. So I don't know exactly. Ooh, good look from DG. A little too fast. But yeah, I think I said this on our last stream. I always would prefer just to go fully into a rebuild than be stuck in basketball purgatory. I don't want to be a perpetual play-in team. Same thing with Chicago. Just rip the Band-Aid off, start the rebuild. And to be fair, Toronto has some solid young players there. Like Grady Dick and Scotty Barnes are solid pieces. But yeah, Phoenix is I mean, man, I don't dislike Nurkic, but he can't be your only option. You dislike him? I don't even I'm neutral. That's all. I don't love him. He's kind of like a dinosaur in today's NBA. He's an ancient uh extinct archetype. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, dislike him as a fit on your team. That makes sense. As a person, I'm neutral. I don't feel one way or another. Sure, he's a great guy, the Bosnian beast. Portland chose him to anchor a defense with CJ and Lillard. Yeah, yeah. That's why it was kind of funny when people would use the Portland team as a reason why this Cavs backcourt can't work together. It's like, well, CJ and Dame didn't have Mobley and Allen behind them, you know? Bosnian missed finger roll. DG, great defense right there. I really like how physical he's been on the defensive end. For a undersized guard, a guy who's been called soft throughout his career, he's been such a warrior on defense this year. I mean, RJ tried to drive past him, sticks his chest out, takes the bump, keeps him away from getting to the paint, forces kind of a drifting floater, and it was just no chance going in. Oh, Scotty Barnes is a good defender. Real lanky, athletic. Oh, threw it right off his chest. Come on, Mobley. It's all right. Okay, they get a run out off that. Yeah, it's all good. That was the worst possible miss because it went right off the brick. It was basically an outlet pass off of his missed 3-pointer. So that was unfortunate. But we like when Mobley pulls. Yeah, they're running hard. They're playing hard. That's it. It's basically the main reason they're in this game. Nice. Yeah, look at that. Beat him down the floor again almost. get a 3-pointer out of it. You'll if you're the Cavs, you'll live with Davion Mitchell attempting a three, but that's still a good possession for Toronto. All right, DG, back to back, and the kiss of death. DG gave the kiss to his bench, though. Is that? I feel like you're not supposed to do that, but it's okay. Yeah, Max is on the bench. I can't remember if he was there earlier in the year. I feel like we've seen Max on the bench, but I'm not entirely sure. Kenny Atkinson did say that Strus is making progress, but he's still a ways away from being back. The 6-week timeline, I believe this next week would be 6 weeks from the time the injury happened, and that's when he would be reevaluated. So we could still be a couple weeks away from him being back. I'd assume we're going to find out some more concrete information and maybe a specific timeline next week. Yeah, they love the bucket drums, dude. This has been a thing forever. They love it. The trash cans, the buckets, they've been doing this for as long as I can remember. And they've expanded. So I remember it used to be like 3 guys. Now they bring out the ladders. They just the 2-1-6 sticks. It's a part of the franchise at this point. They are kind of good when you consider what they're playing on. Hey, if you didn't see the video, you wouldn't know that they're playing on trash cans and buckets. Yeah, Demo can confirm. He's the professional here. Yeah, I'd have to imagine it's a lot harder than it looks to make a symphony off of that equipment. Look at my Cavs, man. Jared Allen showing out for the community. Okoro. So awesome. Yeah, Okoro's got a signature shoe. It's so funny. Not that it's not earned. I'll have a pair. Yeah, Okoro's awesome. Don't love that foul. Don't love it. If you're gonna hit a guy that close to the basket, got to make sure he can't just lay it up afterwards. I think Darius is arguing that it wasn't, or maybe he's arguing it's on the floor. I don't know. Yeah, thought it was on the floor. So that makes sense then. He thought it was on the floor. But yeah, typically that's the one foul that drives me the most crazy. Glad we don't do the replay swirly finger as much as other teams do. Yeah, that's always it's so funny every time. Because again, there's always those certain guys that just do it every play, and you know the coach has to be so fed up. If I was a coach, I would just outlaw that entirely. Don't swirl your finger at me. Nice putback by Allen. Here come the Raptors, though, right back down the floor. Turn it over, maybe? No. But still, they're getting down the court before the Bally camera can even turn, which isn't saying much. Or FanDuel camera, same difference. But they're making an effort to run. Huge putback from Allen there. He's been awesome. Took it right out. Allen's got 17 points, 8 rebounds. Niang. All right, Garland. I thought Niang was going to bring it up the floor for a second. Oh, we got a mismatch. Blew right by him. It's the hot mic. Yeah, they were they are sick over that. That definitely went off a dick. I don't know who was yelling, but that was funny. It is a fun NBA Twitter team. Yeah, I think it was a Coro. Because that clearly went off a Grady Dick, right? Like, is Kenny using the challenge? See, this is a good time to use the challenge. I mean, I can't see where the ref was. If was there a ref on the baseline? How do you miss that? Let's see how long it takes them to do this review because this should be a 10-second review. You need one replay for this. The assist numbers for Garland and Mitchell. Yeah, they got just 3 total. Garland has all 3 of them. Mitchell's felt pretty quiet tonight. He's got 15 points. He's shooting well from the floor. Garland and Mitchell shooting identical. They're both 5 of 10, 4 of 6 from the 3-point line. But yeah, one thing that was so awesome about last year, that stretch when they went 18-2 and they were just killing teams, Donovan Mitchell took a huge step forward as a playmaker, doing God's decoy work. Yeah. Yeah, that's the interesting thing this year is that we're not seeing Garland. We're not seeing as much of the on-ball playmaking as we did during that like amazing stretch, but he's been doing a really good job of playing without the ball, which is like a different form of playmaking. This was, I mean, that hesitation move, one of the best in the NBA. Just got him jumping. Yeah, him and Allen were unbelievable in that stretch from last season. Allen in the short roll, the dribble handoffs. I think that was the stretch when he like threw a left-handed laser. Jared Allen. He was doing a dribble handoff from the 3-point line. He just throws like a left-handed pass straight to a cutter on the baseline. Yeah, Brad just said that Darius Garland is him and Kyrie are the 2 best ball handlers in the lane he's ever seen. Brad says some crazy things sometimes. Off the top of my head, I would say that's not too egregious, but feels a little crazy. But Darius is pretty incredible down there, so I'll let it slide. Probably not the second best ever, but it's pretty good down there. Nice defense right there. Ty Jerome's has such good hands. So good at swiping the ball free. Nah, that was not cool. I've noticed George Niang seems like he's just putting his head down and attacking closeouts way more than last year. I mean, he's just going straight to work on the catch. Brad also said once in Phoenix that he was jealous of the carnitas nachos they served because Cleveland only offered raggedy ass ground beef. He is funny. He is funny, man. Yeah, I'm not sure what Niang was doing there, but it all works out because the ball just finds its way to Jared Allen. And one, he's everywhere. He's having one of those games where he's just everywhere. That should have been a bad possession for the Cavs, turns into a 3-point play. Just staying aggressive. Yeah, Boucher is having a rough night with Jarrett. Just too strong. Here they go. They get it back. Ah, Ty Jerome almost got it. Oh, foul. Best Cavs center of all time? Probably Brad, right? It's probably Brad. Who else would you say? Is Jared in the conversation, do we think? Z? Whoa, Jared just got an easy steal right there. All right, this is the first bang of the night. Nope. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's having Niang's having a pretty bad game here. He's 1 of 9, but it's all right. He's still having a solid start to the year. Jared, Z, and Brad are the finalists. I would agree with that. Trying to avoid recency bias and doing the modern NBA players are just more versatile than like Brad would have been, but Jared has a decent case if he continues. Like if the Cavs go on a run throughout the rest of this decade, and Jared's like the centerpiece or the center, I mean not the centerpiece, but he's like the defensive anchor, then he'd build a pretty strong case. Um, let's see, Brad made 5 All-Star teams. He was an All NBA player. Career 19 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 53% from the field. He was a pretty legit player. It's not an obvious answer. I agree. I'm just reading off some of these stats for everyone. Z, as we all know, is a monster. Brad's definitely the most decorated with the 5 All-Stars, All NBA. Z made the All-Star team twice. He was an All Rookie. I'll read off the rest of these stats at a dead ball. Ooh, that was an ugly miss. Brad for now. Yeah, I think because he's the most decorated and he was like the legit first option. I don't know if you would say he was the first option or Mark, but I think I would give it to Brad. But they've had some good centers on this team. Never forget Shaquille O'Neal, Cleveland Cavalier, Ben Wallace. This guy's definitely not the best Cavs center, but I just have to shout out Tristan. Yeah, Tristan and Anderson. Like, just got to shout out Tristan. Will you win a championship with that guy at center? King of doing the dirty work, understood his role. Was Wiley a center? Let's see what basketball reference says. Oh, they had him at small forward. Ed Davis. Never forget. Did any center in Cavalier history have a better hook shot than Robin Lopez? Points per possession? I don't think it's even close. Brad had a great short hook, but Robin Lopez could hit you from the free throw line. Robin Lopez hit a shot falling down. I don't know if Brad did that. Teams have done a really good job defending Sam Merrill this year. He had that one big game against Milwaukee, I think, but he's had a little bit of a tough time getting separation. I mean, they just all over him. Boston was all over him too. Yeah, no, I would agree. That means he's drawing defensive attention. That's why it's always valuable having him out there, even if I don't think he scored tonight, but even if he's not getting shots off, teams are devoting a lot of attention to following him around, and it's just helpful. Nice putback. Yeah, it's just helpful having a guy out there who's going to draw attention. Great defensive possession all around. Everyone played great right there. Mobley made a really good recovery. Um, it looked like he dropped off his man. They're not going to show it. Maybe they will, but it looked like he rotated off his man, managed to stop that cut into the paint, and then gave him no option. It's always great to force a shot clock violation. Oh, all right. And there's Evan Mobley. Huge block. I mean, it's just you can't help but laugh. Just completely suffocated that shot attempt. He's like a foot above you, just swatting it down. Hey, if all things go the way that we hope they go, Evan Mobley could end up being the best center in franchise history. I know he plays half of his time at power forward, but that would be a pretty nice outcome. I think we would all be happy if it turned out that way. Yeah, we'll just call them bigs. Scotty Barnes versus Sam Merrill. Sam wins that matchup, forces him to pass. Yeah. Sam. Sam makes it really hard to pick on him. And that's why you can leave him out there. Uh-oh. All right, Scotty Barnes got Mobley back. He got him back. The score is still a lot to a little this season, but Scotty Barnes, good stop on him. Yeah. Scotty's talking a lot of shit. And there was that play last year where Scotty waves off Mobley as he's taking a three-pointer and Mobley hits it, so it's been interesting. I definitely think these two get up a little bit against each other. Mobley's the more quiet, reserved one, but I think these guys take this matchup a little more seriously than others. I don't really know about that foul call. Okay, I see Cavs Twitter is still calling Ty Jerome milk. We got to stop, guys. I don't like this. We can choose to be better. We don't have to. We can let that nickname die. I don't know where it originated from. I know it was on his basketball reference page. We can choose to call him something else. The typhoon is right there. Guys, just stop calling him milk, please. It doesn't have to be a thing. It is funny though. Come on, give us a bang. Has he banged yet tonight? I don't think Niang's banged. No, he's 0 of 7. Dang. Niang's 1 of 12 tonight. He's tied with Garland for the most shots in this game. It's kind of crazy. He's taken 12 shots in 17 minutes, 1 of 12. Yeah, it's been a rough night for him. I would honestly, if I'm Kenny, I would yank him. I don't think we need to keep him out there at this point. Yeah, he's been yanked. I would expect he's not back on the floor tonight. Yep, easy opportunity for Mobley. Good play right there to end the quarter. It's a 6-point game. Gavs, they keep putting together good stretches and then letting Toronto back in it. Actually, I won't even word it that way. I wouldn't say they're letting Toronto back in it. I think Toronto's fighting. They're playing really hard. Cavs just gotta stay focused here. Stay focused and put it away. They won the opening quarter by 16, Cleveland. They won the first quarter by 16. And they've lost the next 2 quarters. So, yeah, Toronto's not shooting the ball that well. They've improved as the game has gone on. They started at 18%. They're 9 of 27 now from deep, which is 33%. So they're heating up a little bit. The Cavs on the opposite end have cooled down a little bit. They were at, I think, 53%, if I'm remembering that correctly. They're down to 45% from deep, which is still very good. But yeah, I feel good. I feel like the Cavs have been pretty in control of this game the entire time, even when Toronto has made a counter punch. Has it even gotten to a one possession game? I'm not sure. They haven't really gotten that close. So they keep their foot on the gas. This could be, I think, a wire to wire victory. Even I'm not sure. Maybe Toronto. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. They might have had an early lead at some point. Yeah, Toronto, they did lead by 2. Yeah, they had a 2-point lead, but basically a wire to wire victory would feel pretty good. Oh, he almost made that from half court, back of the rim. So what I'm looking for in this fourth quarter, Jared Allen has kind of been the hero of the night. He's just dominating every time he's out there. I would really like to see Darius or Donovan really put their hands on this game down the stretch. Darius has 16 points, 4 assists. Donovan has 15 points, 1 assist. If either one of them takes this game into control, I think it'll be a pretty easy rest of the way for us here. If neither one of them gets going, it could get interesting. Cleveland has enough depth to do it without him, but I apologize for apologizing about George Niang. Oh, he's still on the floor. All right, let's turn it around. Oh my goodness. 1 of 13. It's not just that he's 1 of 13, it's the fact that he's taken the most shots on the team. Just hurts. Yeah. So it's I guess in fact you do not have to hand it to him. I'll hold down the fort. I'll continue to say George has been playing well this season. I won't turn my back on him this easy. But I am gonna tweet something about him right now. Ooh, rough game from George. Yeah, Toronto's getting to the line a lot. 26 free throw attempts to Cleveland's 14. I'm not. Sam just took a charge on kneeing. I'm not blame the refs guy. I don't feel like the Cavs have gotten a bad whistle. Uh so I'm not gonna put too much into that. Nice drive. See, okay, there was a little bit of contact there. I understand the concern or the complaint from Donovan. That was a sexy move to the rim. Scotty on George. They've done a real good job on Scotty. Abaji. I was high on him. I really thought he was gonna be great. Not great. I thought he was gonna be really good. Nice. Back to back buckets. That's what we wanted to see from Donovan. Put the game away. Not the game's not away yet, but I'm saying that's what I want to see him do. It's been relatively quiet. He's been playing good, but he's just been quiet offensively. Put together a nice fourth quarter here. We're gonna have a stress-free victory. He's just so strong. I mean, going right through the defense all the way to the rim. Such a special player. And look at that. You have Sam Merrill setting the screen for him, as we mentioned earlier, just having different guys set screens. The defense has to be worried about sticking to Sam on those screens. You can't let him get any daylight. So even if it's just a half second hesitation from RJ Barrett on that play, it's all Donovan needs to get downhill. You know, they've missed 10 free throw attempts, the Raptors. So leaving a lot on the line in a game they've played pretty well. Nice. 7 straight points to start the quarter, I believe. Yep. Donovan's got it going right when they needed it. Get this rebound. Here we go, Ty. Give it to Ice. Oh, pull up. Whoa. He's doing the chill guy meme. Yeah, he's just a chill dude. He did the chill guy. That's great. That's awesome. He changed his profile picture to that chill guy meme, too. That's so good. Milk, no. No, Danny. I'll let it fly. I'll let it slide. That was great. The Cavs reaction to that was great too. I gotta hold on, I gotta post this. I'll drop the link into the chat. Their little dance around him. The vibes have been so good with this team. Yeah, the way they surrounded him. So funny. This team is hilarious. Chill guy Ty Jerome with the typhoon. The only question is if Ty Jerome will stare me down when I ask him a very reasonable question post game. Okay, Jackson, it was a reasonable question, but I also understand why Ty stared you down. You can't doubt him. For anyone unaware, Jackson asked Ty if Ty Jerome himself is surprised at all with the way he's playing, and Ty Jerome just kind of stared him down and said no. So I get the question, but I also get Ty Jerome. Of course he believes in himself. You know, he's Ty freaking Jerome. He wakes up every day and looks himself in the mirror and knows that he can do this. He knows that he's maybe the best player to ever wear number 2 in franchise history. I'm also not sure if Jackson actually listens to the stream because he's at the game right now in the media section. I know he'll tune in and chat. I don't know if he can even hear me. So Tyree Irving. Best player in franchise history whose last initial starts with a J. No one else comes to mind. So can't think of a single other Cavs player that might be memorable. Golden State kept the wrong PG, yeah. They had the Splash Bro replacement just right next to him the whole time. What's funny about it is apparently Kobe Altman had been wanting Ty Jerome for a while too. Like he was really in on Ty Jerome. Uh-oh. Mitchell get hit in the head? No, I don't think so. I think he just got tripped. But yeah, Kobe Altman saw the vision. He just trucked Grady Dick. Post up. Nice spin move. Dude, he makes it look so easy. Davion Mitchell is a really good defender, and Donovan Mitchell just took him to school. Goro, great D. Fantastic defense. And he runs the floor. That ball got tipped, but he still finishes. Just like that's a 17-point lead. Donovan Mitchell completely took over the game. And a block. And he gets the block. And then Mobley gets a piece of it, looks like. Donovan pull up. Ooh, Okoro. Come on, Sam. Ooh. Sam. That hurts. It's okay, though. Cavs playing fantastic right now. Okoro is everywhere. John Michael stealing my whole flow bar for bar. Kept doubling down on Ty Jerome and won 4 different Ty Jerome bets. No one tell Vegas. Look, man, I won't tell anybody, but don't be surprised if the black SUVs end up outside your house. I won't lie. I routinely, even though I know Ty Jerome is good at this point, I'm still just in awe every time he has a good game. I'm like, man, we weren't even sure if this dude existed last year. We didn't know if it was just a myth. He missed the entire season with a sprained ankle. Really unfortunate injury. I mean, really, I can't imagine uh, how frustrating that whole process must have been for him. So to see him have, like, look at that, just comes right in, gets a steal. See him have such a successful bounce back here. Ooh, good block by Pirtle. Another steal. Another steal for Ty Jerome. Oh, man. I feel like the Raptors have turned it over or gotten blocked on all of their possessions this quarter. Come on, that's a clean look. Ooh, it's okay. It's okay. They're getting really good looks. Yeah, the crowd is waiting to explode. Wow, Barnes is having a rough game. Oh, late call. He might have. I think he legitimately got fouled though. Tyson Daniels versus Ty Jerome. Dude, Dyson Daniels has been incredible too. Yeah, let me see. Niang and Merrill. Okay, Merrill's only 1 for 3. Feels a little worse just because they were wide open. But yeah, Niang's 0 for 8. Merrill's 1 for 3. Very clean looks. Oh, I wasn't even looking at the replay. Did he flop? I was looking at the box score. Oh, I didn't even know he had an orbital fracture. I knew he was out for a while. Yeah, I see it. I think the orbital fracture is probably important context because didn't seem like he got hit that hard, but when you're already dealing with an injury there, and also, it's always you got to keep in mind when they show the slow mo, the impact is harder to really judge, especially Jared Allen. I mean, that's a 7 foot beast, 6'10", but the afro makes him 7 foot. Yeah, 6'9.5". Yeah, it's okay. I'll still say the Cavs have 2 7-footers because the agenda comes first. It's good to see Okoro break a press. It wasn't the best defense in the world, but it's just nice. Allen, Hakeem the dream shake down low. Good defense. That's what you want if you're the Cavs. He hit it, but you ran him off the line, funneled the ball to a poor 3-point shooter. Yeah, Allen's cooking. Absolutely cooking. Pirtle's a fantastic defender down there. He just shook him out of his shoes. I got to clip that. Again, Mobley gets most of the credit when it comes to being the versatile unicorn big, and Allen's not a unicorn by any means, but the dude is so versatile for his height. He can do so many different things. Moondog. He's usually pretty money on this. How's Apollo? He's doing good. He's sitting on the bed right now, going to town on his paws, chewing at him. So thankfully he doesn't chew on him too hard, just like a allergy thing that he has. But he's doing good. I will say he's been a little. I think he's going through some seasonal depression. I think he's been a little cooped up recently because it's been cold. So I'm gonna have to get him outside tomorrow. But yeah, he's doing good. He's doing real good. Thanks for asking. We love the Apollo updates. He's gonna be 6 on November 28th. So in 4 days, my big man turns 6 years old. Can't believe it. I've had him since he was a 3-month little puppy. And yeah, he's gonna be 6. He is still a baby. He's still got puppy energy. You guys heard him squeaking his toy earlier, I'm sure. So you got a bark box. If anyone knows what that is, the Chewy company, they do bark boxes. So we got like his Thanksgiving themed stuff. They have like a turkey toy, stuff like that. So he's been very happy. Yeah, happy early birthday to Apollo. I think they do have those for cats. I don't know what they're called. I'm sure they're not bark boxes, but I'm sure they do. I know the one that I get, it comes with 2 bags of treats, and 3 toys for $30, I think, which seems a little pricey when you first tell someone that it's $30, but it's honestly worth it. 3 toys, 2 bags of treats. Like, it's not bad. And they're decent quality toys. Like Apollo's a big chewer, and he usually doesn't destroy them right away. He'll carry them around for a while, so they're solid. Yeah, they're definitely worth it. Good cut from Sam. Saved the possession right there. He had nowhere to go with that. So it was a timely cut. All right, relocate. Nope. Good defense. All right, come on, Sam. Come on. Oh, it's all right. That was good movement from Sam on that possession, even though he didn't knock it down. And they're trying to go at him, but Sam's not easy to pick on defensively. He's not a fantastic defender, but he really makes it hard for teams to single him out. That's all you got. That's all you can ask for. Ty Jerome. He's just toying with his food at this point. He's just having fun. Yeah, he's not small. Sam Merrill, I'm pretty sure he's 6'5", so he's got good size. He's got he doesn't have a thin frame. I wouldn't say he's bulky, but he's got a solid frame. Yeah, Ty Jerome had 3 guys jumping for joy. That Euro step is so good. Yeah. 2 people on the flyby, and then he gets Dick in the air, knocks it down. Scotty Scotty Barnes went flying. Jeez. 26 points off the bench. Again, I mentioned earlier his previous career high was 24. So he just broke it back-to-back games. He scored, I think John Michael said 3 20-point games out of his last 4. Just an incredible start to the year for Ty Jerome. Yeah. Not many guys can Dick in the air like Milk does. Jerome beat Dick on that possession. It was embarrassing to watch. He struggled against PP, Peyton Pritchard, but he's had no problem against Dick tonight. I don't know why I said Ty. Thinking of Ty Jerome. Jared Allen, almost another putback. PP's not quite as long. All right, I'm feeling pretty comfortable. We got 4 minutes left, 11-point lead. Not trying to jinx anything, but I think this one's in the bag. Let's put it away. Beautiful pick and roll. Yeah, Dick bounced back on that shot. Had to break even. Ooh, nice. One of the big differences down the stretch is they tried so many times to post up Cleveland's guards. Big to big to end the night. I couldn't be happier. But yeah, Toronto tried really hard to abuse mismatches, especially in the paint with like Barrett and what was that? Timeout? Okay. Yeah, and they weren't able to get anything out of it. I mean, the Cavs did a fantastic job holding their own in those situations, but then you even see on that last play, Allen coming over with the timely help. Defense was locked in tonight. That's what we wanted to see, and we saw it. 2 points away from the free French fries. I don't know if Derpy's here still. He usually chimes in for the free fries, but we're right on the verge of getting it. Feel pretty good they're gonna get it. Ty Jerome, he's just a chill guy. Who are the bigs for Atlanta? Let me look. I know they have Clint Capella and Okongwu, but I don't know if I have no idea what their like injury status is right now. I haven't been keeping up with the Hawks. So let me see if I can find out. That might be it. I'm not really sure who else they have that plays center. Hold on, I gotta plug my charger in before I look that up. Ty Jerome has just been laughably good. It could never in a million years imagined he would be this good. Even when I tried joking and memeing about it in the summer, just didn't think he would just legitimately be this efficient. Yep. Yep. Man, you managed to pump fake Jared Allen and get past him, and then Evan Mobley's right there to smother Scotty Barnes' shot. Pirtle stays in it, wait, did he get called for a foul? Yeah, look at this. You get past Allen, and Evan Mobley's meeting you at the rim. Yeah, they called the foul there on Pirtle. Come on, Mobley, give us a three. Oh, the agenda would have been flawless tonight. Yeah, I like a Kongwu, so I wouldn't have been mad at them getting rid of Capella and letting him just shine in that role. But yeah, Atlanta's on all kinds of weird stuff. Let's get out of here without an injury, please, Cavs. Let's get through these 2 minutes without being hurt. Mitchell made it look so easy down the stretch. So yeah, Mitchell entered this quarter with 14 or 15 points. I don't remember exactly. He has 26 now. Just put the game away with his scoring at the start of the quarter. Cavs continued to build the lead behind their defense. Everyone else get involved. Just a beautiful night. Jared Allen had 23 points, 11 rebounds. Ty Jerome again, 26 points off the bench. He only played 28 minutes and he put up 26. Just absolutely on fire. 9 of 13 shooting, 5 assists and 3 steals to go with it. I thought John Michael said that he had 4 steals, so maybe they took one away from him, or maybe ESPN is wrong. Sometimes that happens, but perfect night for Ty Jerome. In a game where the Cavalier bench outside of Ty Jerome had just 7 points. George Niang was 1 of 13. Sam Merrill was 1 of 6. Craig Porter, CPJ, 1 for 1. Perfect from the floor. But he only played 5 minutes, had 2 points. Ty Jerome. Oh, Ty Jerome just got his 4th steal on the ESPN box score as I was speaking. They just added it. I don't even think he's on the court right now. So maybe this is a spoiler. I think he's going to come back in and get his 4th steal. So there we go. I spoke it into existence. Yeah, because the ESPN scores a minute ahead. Unless they just gave it to him. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to come back in. Doesn't matter. Point is, the Cavs are awesome. Whoa, Mitchell, the Sham God, got stopped. I don't think I've ever seen the Sham God get stopped in his tracks like that. That was interesting. Good Mitchell on Mitchell defense. Evan Mobley remains flawless against Scotty Barnes. I will say Barnes turned it around a little bit. He had 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block, 7 assists, shot 5 of 14. But I won't call it garbage time because they were trying to rally back, but it kind of came late in the game. Raptors missed a lot of free throws tonight. 34-14 disparity, though. Yeah, I mean, I really haven't felt like they've gotten a bad whistle, but it's still tough to see that. Makes you wonder. Cavs got up 43 pointers, though. So the Raptors definitely attacked the basket. Oh, the Raptors took 36, but I don't know. I need 123 for reasons. You might get it. It's possible. We're right there. I'm rooting for you. Oh, yeah, the French fries. Bring them out. 17-1 is certified insane. It just keeps building and building. We're a month into the season. 18 games. That's, almost a quarter of the year. They've only lost one game. Do you guys think they're going to run away with the first seed? Or do you think Boston has a chance? I would say they clearly have a chance, but do you think the Cavs are going to lock up this one seed? Basically, it's between Cleveland and Boston, barring anything drastic. I will say Orlando's only well, they're 5.5 games back, but they're 5.5 games back, and they haven't had Paolo, which is impressive. But yeah, uh, Cavaliers are picking up their 17th win of the season. Boston is at just 14. Orlando is 11-7. They've been playing really good. Franz has been lighting it up. I know we don't like the Wagner brothers, but man, that shot he hit over LA was nuts. Yes, barring injury, I would say it has to be Cleveland and Boston in the top two seeds. I would take Cleveland number one right now because I think they're rolling. Frank is the hooper. I knew what you meant, but it's just funny. Yeah, Franz has been balling. I will say, I don't know if anyone watches the George Niang podcast. I tuned into a couple episodes. His episode with the Wagner brothers made me like the Wagner brothers, and I was like, this is awful. I didn't want to feel this way. They seem very chill. I will not be watching it then. Yeah, they come across very just chill, relatable. Yeah, you got to preserve the hate. I agree though. I don't want to rematch the Magic. I would still feel good about a rematch. Like I would still pick the Cavs to win, but that team just fights. They're such a physical team. Paolo was on a tear before he got injured, and if he makes another leap, they're a really scary team. So hopefully, I mean, like the ideal situation is that someone manages to stun Boston before we get to the like. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. It's November, but let's say the Cavs managed to get to the conference finals and someone had took out the Celtics in round two. That would be awesome. Yeah, like if Boston draws Orlando, or even let's say New York puts it together a little bit, you never know. This could be a really good. Again, it's November, so I have no idea what the playoff picture is going to look like. But if you end up as the one seed, you put yourself in a good position to have a bracket that breaks the right way for you. Is what I'm trying to say. So it's really important that they hang on here and just stay in the top two seeds, honestly, which I think they should be able to do. 122. Oh, that is tough. Sorry that you fell short right there, man. That sucks. Good W though. Good win. Draymond talking with Darius didn't humanize Draymond for me at all. I can see past someone being nice on the court. Yeah. Yeah, Draymond, I thought Draymond was gonna be like fantastic on Inside the NBA when that first started. I was like, oh man, he'll probably be awesome. But then he was just kind of a bitter weirdo. Like, he was just kind of really annoying. So I don't know. Maybe he'll become more self-aware in the future, but yeah. Ty Jerome was going to seal it for you again. Just barely left it short, man. Sorry to hear it. Triple single king. I do respect Draymond's game a lot. I will admit I do respect it a lot. I think he has some bad takes. Uh him putting Rudy Gobert in a chokehold gives him a lot of brownie points for me. Like that made me feel a lot better about him. Um, but yeah, Cavs win again, 17-1, phenomenal game. Basically a wire-to-wire victory. They had an early 2-point deficit. I think Toronto scored the first basket of the game. After that, they basically coasted. Toronto fought really hard. They ran the floor. They did their best to stay in the game, but Ty Jerome, too much. Ty Jerome and Donovan Mitchell combined for 52 points. Garland added 16. Allen had 23. Okoro had 10 points, 4 of 4 shooting. Just an awesome game. This was an awesome stream. I had a lot of fun doing this. I've really had fun in all these streams. The chat has been cooking. You guys make it so easy to do this, especially solo. Being able to interact with the chat makes my life so much easier. So I really appreciate everyone who's been tuning in. I'm not sure when's the Cavs next game. Is it Wednesday? I believe it's Wednesday. Look up the schedule right now. Yes, it's Wednesday against the Hawks at 7 o'clock. I will be here. I know Jackson will be covering the game, so it's either going to be me solo again or probably me and Corey. So regardless of what it is, I hope that you guys will all be here again. And until then, go Cavs.